up? Camera's rolling. Alright, so shall we start with a little Q&A, like you said? Do you want a letter of the lead? Do you want to keep her, or it's up to you, like whatever you like. I should probably actually speak in the microphone. You want to have a look at it? His head. Oh, capturing the breathing. So how has the week been?
Yeah, good. So I've been doing just 10 to 15 minutes every night except for last Friday because I got home too late.
Yeah.
She's been pretty good. Don't knock it off. One positive thing I have noticed is that because she used to run away whenever she saw the halter.
Yeah.
But she's not. She's actually putting her nose in the...
Oh, really? Yeah.
Which is good. But the thing I've noticed the most is her right side.
Yes.
She freezes whenever I do anything on the right side. Left side, she's more curious.
Yeah.
But as soon as I go to the right side, that's when she starts to shut down.
Yeah. Cool.
So.
Okay. So I think the microphone captured it, but so you said she's shutting down more on her right side and she's more curious on her left. So it's really common because we always, like, if you think about it, we lead on the right, we get on the right, on the left. So we do everything mostly with the horse on the left.
Yeah.
So they get quite, like, confident just from being more handled on that side, and then we neglect the other side sometimes.
Yeah.
And so they're just not as confident. Or, like, and if shutdown is her default mode, then it would make sense for her to go to that mode, or like it takes her longer to build that confidence on that, right? So that is a really good observation. Like, I don't think with any of the horses that I've worked with, I think it's always the right side. I don't think I've ever had a horse that was more confident on the right and less confident on left. And I think it's just the way we handle them. Yeah. So I think we just got to be like, so when you work with her, you could sandwich it. So sometimes if you pick a particular exercise, start on the right, switch to the left, back to the right. So actually, then you get double time on the right.
I did, because first I was just doing the left side.
Yeah.
And then I think one of the nights I did starting on the right side, and she was curious at the start.
Yeah.
And then did the left side, that was fine, and then did the right side again and shut down.
Yeah. Okay. So it could have just been that she probably has, like, sort of a threshold, also in terms of time that you spend with her. So she can maybe tolerate 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes is a bit too much, or whatever that is. So it could just be, that she was all right because you started and she was, like, more engaged. Yeah. And then as time was on, she's going a little bit like, oh, it's getting a bit too much now. But you can just, like, the more we work with her, that you largen this window, right? So time-wise, and then also in terms of confidence, like what you do with her. Yeah. So they call it, I brought you that book, so it's called the window of tolerance. Okay. So you're going to stretch it in all ways. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. So if you're conscious, there's always, start on the right, left, and then right again. Yep. If she really, really, really shuts down on the right, and you notice that you always finish on a shutdown and it just doesn't feel that good, then just don't switch back. So start on the right, switch to the left, finish on a good note. So just to, because it's more about making her feel good when you finish working with her rather than pushing her. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you've noticed?
Last night she was very distracted, so we mostly just did, walking the other way and stuff.
Yeah.
There was one night where all she wanted to do was eat.
Yeah.
So I found that really difficult, but we didn't do much. I think it was only 10 minutes of actually being in here.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think she's getting into a routine now.
Yeah, cool. Okay. And is there anything that, like, you reckon she improved on? Like, do you think she had a shift with anything, or something that she tolerates more, or?
The hindquarters.
Yeah.
So it was only, I did write it all down, but I think it was only last night or the night before where she actually was stepping.
Yeah.
Before that she was just panicking.
Yeah, okay.
So that was good.
So she's trying to figure that out, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was on the left side. She did do it once on the right side last night.
Yeah.
Just a little step. So that's been good because I tried doing that towards the start of the week or end of last week.
Yeah.
And she didn't step at all. So.
Yeah. But she moved in a way, like, so she tried to figure it out somehow. She just didn't do the step. Would you say that, or was it more like more shutting down?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it got to moving.
Yeah.
And then it went to moving, like actually stepping.
Okay, cool. So it looks like you made progress. And was there anything that you found particularly difficult that you might want to address today, that, like you said, oh, I couldn't really figure that out, or like I want to show you something, and what do you think? Is there something you want to address today? Like,
probably just getting the timing.
Yeah.
Better of when to release or like walk and stuff like that. Because then sometimes I was like looking at her and I'm like, oh, like her nose is kind of twitching a little bit. Is that her like thinking about it? Do I reward that? Or
Yeah.
okay.
That
side of things.
Yeah. And it's normal that you have like this kind of questions, but it's good that you like, you know, you're starting to notice little things and you're starting to question like what they mean for her and for like the situation. Hello. And that's a good step to just, you know, starting to be attuned to what's going on for her. And then we can work on the timing and the feel going forward. All right. Well, do you want to show me, I'll clip this on now. Do you want to just show me maybe your hindquarter yields and see how you do them? Maybe we'll start on the right side. If I'm doing this right, there we go. That's all right. Do you want my? Yeah, you can have my flag. Yeah, it should be all right because the audio is pretty good. Yeah, all right. I'm just gonna come on this side so I can see a little bit better. Yep. Mm. Yeah. So remember, she's funny, hey, because her ears are sort of back, so it like almost looks like she's listening, but then she's obviously also looking over there. She's both on both sides, sort of.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like I'm finding it a bit difficult.
Yeah.
Knowing what's what.
Yeah, but what she's definitely not doing is reacting to what you're asking, or like, you know, having any reaction to it. So that's definitely what she's not doing. So when you approach that, I would just maybe reset, and then I've also noticed how you just went sort of straight with the flag. So, and you sort of went along her body. So try and do more of an arch. So you channel that energy not along her body, but you can really channel that energy towards those hindquarters, and really, like, you know, like you want to come from the side and imagine you pushing her that way. And you want to do it first with your head, and like, so we try to do it in the least in the softest way possible, yeah? So the end goal is to just give her a look on the hindquarters, and she should interpret it like, oh, she wants me to move. So we got to start with that because we can't return to that. We always got to start with that and then build from there.
Yeah.
So that will eventually result to her reacting on this.
Yeah.
But if we miss this step, she will never do it. So I would just start looking at her. So have a flag out here, and then sort of push her with a now, and then start bringing it out. Or you can just push it like sort of with the very slow, do it everything very slow, so she has lots of time to prepare, nothing ambushes her. Then give it a little shake. And if she's not reacting as in moving, because the question is for her to find a solution as to move away, do the quick, you know, bang, just to wake her up, and then reset, come back here, and then start the whole process again. So you look first, like almost like think of like I'm staring your bum down, move that bum, and then like create some energy in your body. I know it sounds a little bit woo-woo, but like they can feel that. So you're creating this energy, and it's like I'm pushing you, and then sort of bring your flag slowly, shake, wake her up. A little shake. I just sort of wiggle it more, like just to create a little bit of movement and a bit of a sound. I try not to be super loud because I don't want her to be like reacting on loud things. I just want her. There you go. And now do a quick, yeah, and then just do again the whole sequence. So you reset and you do the whole sequence again. You look, you stare her bum down, and you try and push her with your bubble. Bring that up. Shake. And just do a quick flick. Okay. And
how much would you do that over and over again?
Well, you have to. You almost want to. I mean, she does get scared a little bit. I'll just show you. Like I just demonstrate, so that just know. I'm just gonna move her for the camera. There you go. So she does do a little head flick, but I probably would like her to be a bit louder. So I'll go around. I'll look at her bum, pushing. I could see there was a little flick. Okay, so there was a little flicker in her shoulder that she was like, oh, I think she might want me to do something. So there was a try. It was tiny. Yeah. It was just a thought. So that's why I just came back. And she appreciates that. But yeah, so you walk. Now you bring your energy up. Slow. There. All right. So she didn't move, but did you see how she just went a bit like,
yeah,
she got ready to do something, and it was like, so that's what we call a try. Like it's just her being like, oh, I think she's asking something of me, okay? And I know it's tiny and it has a lot of feel, but so you look again, make yourself big, up. So she, again, there's a little bit of a movement in her body. There. Yeah. Now it was minimal. It's a try. Yeah. And we'll build from that eventually. So now I'm going to do it again. And I rewarded on the try, but now I want a little bit more. I look. There. And she did a step. So the reason, so sometimes they ignore us because we're not listening to them. Yeah. So maybe during the week she was having those little tries and you might have missed them, yeah, which is not your fault, okay? Because they are really hard to see and you got to be really present, yeah, and like be really, you know, like also it helps if you work with a lot of different horses. Yeah. But like it's sometimes with the shutdown horse, if we don't listen to those tiny little things, then they think, oh well, they don't listen at all. So I'll just, you know. So the more you try and figure out even those tiny little shifts. So again, I watch, go up. Hard for me to see now with the sun. Start shaking. I can see her bum's coming up again, just a flicker. So I'll just stay there. There. I should see how she just looked around and her bum just went a bit. I might have misinterpreted that. She might have just looked back. But when in doubt, benefit of the doubt is for the horse. The other thing you can do is to, good girl, is to also, so when you come here and you do this, what I sometimes like to do is just go, good. So if she doesn't react, you can just go. Sometimes just that cluck just helps them to understand that you're actually asking a question. Oh, you can't? What about kiss? Like a, yeah. There. Nice. Do you want to try that one more time?
On the right side?
Yeah, we'll keep doing the right side. Nice. Very nice. Just let her that moment for a minute. All right, so do you look first? You look on the palm, come up, make your energy high, bring it up. Like give her like a kiss, like as if you were saying like, hey, I'm asking something. Alright, and now give it a bit of a wake up. Okay, and do it again. Next time if you have to do wake up, be bold. Okay, do it really loud and like really, just because she, you know, it only takes you that one time to take you a little bit serious. Yeah. You don't have to necessarily be loud with the flag when you ask her. So you can just be a rattle. Like she knows, she's looking at it. All right, stop there. Nice. So again, she didn't move, but she looked at you. It was a try as in, all right, I'm looking at you. So try that one more time. All right, give it a kiss. All right, and now a bold one. I think you can do bolder. Try. That's okay though. It should work up a little bit more. All right, and now go straight again. All right, kiss. All right, and the bold one. Yeah. Okay. And then go again. Yeah, yep. And stop it there. There we go. So that was a try. Okay, at least she was trying for you this time and you released it on it. Just go for a walk with her for a second, just so she doesn't get too worried about this now.
So, what was I doing wrong?
I don't think you're doing anything wrong, but I think there's an uncertainty in yourself. like I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like, oh, I'm not quite sure if I'm doing this right. Yeah, and I think she can feel this as in, like, you know, well, if she doesn't know if she's doing it right, well, I don't know if I'm doing it right then. Like, like, is she asking me something or not? So you've got to be quite like, there is no right as in, you know, this is the right technique, or this is like you should shake it this much or this high or this low. I think it's more about your intention, about like, I need you to not respect, but I need you to listen to this question because I want to build a dialogue and a communication with you. And like, just be sure in your ask, yeah? Like, don't question too much, like, am I doing this right? It's not really, am I doing this right? It's just more like, can you move? Like, you asking her a question, can you move? And like, and you like, can, like, you just keep asking the question sort of thing. So I think you just need to build a little bit more of that in confidence in yourself. And I know it's really hard because if you have never done it, like, it is hard to really understand what you want. Just because she's going to sort of Moving in. All right, and then stop her one more time. Just like here, and then just do it one more time. And I think she will probably. No, it's just gonna scratch. No. So just like, you know, do a bit of a fake it till you make it. Like, just like, you know, can you move that bum? Like, it's really simple. Like, you know, there's nothing, you're not going to get tested or like pass this or not. Yes. Yeah. When I mean intention, it's just, well, you want to be clear in what you're asking, right? Like, you just want to be, you know, not thinking about what you're going to have for dinner later, or like, you know, you just want to be present, and you want to be clear in, I'm asking a question, but you want to be clear about the outcome, like what you want her, like what's the answer of the question. If you want to see it as a game you're playing, and how can she win the game? You set the rules, how can she win the game? Yeah, stop. Sorry, just come back now. She just did this little, there was just movement in her body, and it was good because you were more firm, as in walking, and she noticed that. So it wasn't wrong. I stopped you because she had this moment of like, oh, oh, something's happening, and you were firmer. So I just wanted you both to have that moment of acknowledgement. So do it again. So she was like reacting to you, like there was a response. Yeah. Yes. Yes. All right. Good.
Are we still walking after?
I would see how she is. Like, she's pretty good today. Like, she's still looking around, but if you leave it too long, maybe just keep, like, don't leave it for too long, her standing there. I think that's when she sort of goes a little bit, you know. So do that again. I think you're very close to the. Yes. Yes. Hmm? Just go. Yeah, just go again. Yes, I like how you saw that. Yeah, good. All right, now do it again. And like, you know how she gave us a few little tries now, as in I know you're asking something. Now, like, let's see if we can get a little bit more out of her. So you just do it again, and you're just gonna not release on her smallest try, maybe release on some sort of movement. Okay, some sort of leg is moving. Okay, that's the question now. So that's the game, and she can win the game by moving one of her legs.
Up or keep going?
What do you think? Like,
I don't know, because she was looking around.
yeah, so she wasn't really paying attention to you, right? So see if you can get her attention back by doing your loud, very bold noise. Very bold. Yes. All right, and then reset for a split second and ask again. Yeah, keep going until she moves there. Till she moves that leg. All right, and one more time. I know it's repetitive, but like, it's just builds, like, because we have that predictability with her that she, like, you know, we keep asking the same question, so we can't, like, we know that we're not going to make her feel too uncomfortable. She knows what's coming. Now we just want her to actually engage in this. And we don't want to give her too much time to stand there and ignore. All right, big bold move. Big bold move. Can I just have a go? And I'll just show you. When I say big bold, see how she's like, oh. Yeah. This is a big bold move, okay? And it's not directed at her. It's not meaning you're a bad girl. It's just like, we want your attention. Yeah. I'm just gonna. Yeah. So you can be firmer with her. Like, I know she's beautiful and small, but now I'm almost thinking like she's ignoring you a little bit. Okay. All right. I'm going to let you try one more time. Demand a little bit of attention from her, okay? Because yes, you might want to be like we all want to be friends with our horses, but what they really need is a leader. And it's like, not leader as I'm mean and I'm going to make you walk, but it's like, if we want to live together and we want to have this partnership, we do have to talk to each other. If you just ignore me. All right, keep at her just a little bit. Because she just crossed her legs, so just keep at her for a little bit, just because she can do it. You just saw it. There, stop. Okay. And if you want, you can walk. You can walk out of this hindquarter heel too, so you don't have to stop. So when she does it, you can just retrieve and start walking away. So you could do that too. So try that now again. Go in there with a big intention. Oh, yes. And then walk out of it. So basically turn around and just start walking. Yeah. You do that one more time just because I'd like you to get a feel of how that felt. Yeah, and then just turn around and start walking off with her. Yep, perfect. So do you feel the difference? Yeah. Okay, now we'll go to the other side and do it over there. She's more alert today, hey? Like she's looking around a little bit more. Yeah. I think she's, yeah, different today, hey? Like I was 100% she was shut down. Like, which I think she still is, but she's definitely, she seems more confident today. And
I think, like I said, she's, because I've been bringing her in every night. She's in a routine.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's...
Yeah, okay, so it's not, yeah, could be. Okay. All right. Oh, see, you don't even need the flag. Okay, and then just walk away. So she's reading your intention now. Yeah. She's like, Sally is coming to, sorry, Freya's coming to move me. All right, Now just block her there with, so okay, so now she thinks walking around. So just swing your flag right in front of her. Like I'll just show you. So now we've just got to be a little bit particular. So if she thinks she's just going to walk away, she's walking, she's probably not going to do it for me. But basically you just swing your flag and you swing it like just on a straight line, up and down, okay? And she can quite easily retrieve out of it. The flag is not following her. It just stays there. Some horses, which I don't think she would be, but some horses that go through it. And the main thing that you have to do is if she ever wants to go through this line, do not like make space for her, like where you're like, all right, if you're coming, I'll hold it up here, or I'll do here, or I'll go around you. Like you really got to maintain, like imagine this is a wall, and if you go through it, like then you get hit, but you choose to go through it. Okay, so when we do the hindquarter yields now, just so be a little bit more particular that she actually yields and doesn't just walk. So that's the yield. So you want those front legs to be quite still. And the back legs crossing, and you don't want her to just walk out of it. So right now she wasn't too bad. It was good. It was a good hindquarter yield, but there was a bit of more of a forward movement. So that's when you just set the boundary. It's like, no, we don't want forward. We're just gonna go there. You are doing well. All right, let's try that one more time. So just this side, yep. And if you don't have to use your flag, don't use your flag. So really delay that flag. Like it's best if she moves out of your body, like just of you walking into her space sort of thing. Yes, nice. That was good. You can walk out of it. So that was really good. So it's a...
So always walk out of it?
I would gauge it, like, you know, if you feel like you start losing her and she's going into shutdown because it's all becoming a bit much, then I would go back to the walking, but you can definitely start testing her a little bit. So right now she's a bit like, you know, so I would probably walk. It's a bit of a puzzle to me, to be honest. Like yeah, they're shutting down. It's like, because she's not overly flustered unless she's comfortable with what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like maybe she just needed that clarity. So then the next thing you could do with her is now, so you obviously this week practice the hindquarter yields. If she does them 100% all the time correct, right? Like she keeps yielding, maybe don't release. And see how she walks out of it now? So just set that boundary here. Okay, we don't want to just walk off and start walking circles around us. So yeah, if she starts doing those hindquarter yields, just see if you can keep yielding them. So now again, so just there. So now she's guarding herself a little bit. See how she's blocking me now from coming on that side? Did you see that? So I'm probably pushing her a little bit much now, but like I just want to show you how it looks at the end of the week. You could work your way up to is you see if we can get those hindquarter yields to get them done with a bit of flow. Might be a bit much for her today. I'll see. So I'm just helping her there. Lifting up that lead rope when she wants to just walk out. So instead of blocking her, I'm helping. Yes. Yes. See how she gets a little bit of flow into it now? The best thing though is to release when she gets that flow and she starts like really, like when they make this movement like in a real flow and they start to like put their head down and they start to like really get into the movement, then it's like then they take value out of the movement. Yeah. So at the moment it's just a random movement. So I'll keep asking her. So I'll just help her now. So whenever she's walking out of it now, I'm just going to lock her a little bit and push her at the end. Lock her and keep pushing her. There. See how she's bringing her head around now? See the difference? So that when she's like starting to sort of get into that movement, and when she's like, the movement starts feeling good for her.
Yeah, you can see
Yeah, it becomes more fluid. So when she starts walking off and she doesn't cross her legs over more, just tuck, but then release again, yeah? So you don't want to hold her there. When she stops, you push, okay? So, there. So push. So she's walking just around me. There. So I'm waiting for her. It's a hard one, huh? All right, I'm gonna release her very soon. I don't think I'm gonna get to where I was before, but I can feel her worry coming up a bit too much. So yeah, so there, I'm just wanting to have like a moment where she was just doing one good cross and like have her head a little bit given. But yeah, so that was probably a little bit too much. But you saw the first one, so that's probably the goal. So get her like smoothly into that movement. Good girl. I'm just going to try the other side, which is probably... Oh, nice. Good girl. All right, so the key here is when you do this, so you push the hind end, and when she starts walking around you, as in she doesn't cross anymore and doesn't bend around you, to lift this up, like literally, so you're standing near her shoulder and you just lift it up in the sky, which like sort of brings her around and blocks her from that forward movement. And then the key is to then, as soon as she sort of gives, like you put it back down, okay? So that you don't just hold her there and force her to be there. So she needs to make that choice, because they're all mental exercises. They're not exercises for her to be in a position or train her butt or like anything like that. It's all for her to be mentally, when they bend their rib cage, they actually relax because they're holding a lot of tension in their rib cage. So one of the, I don't know if you ever heard of the one rein stop. Yeah, so there's like, that's a bend of the rib cage, but it's more so the disengagement of the hindquarters. So there's lots happening. So the disengagement of the hindquarters is happening, which is basically when they're worried and ready to run, they need their hindquarters to be quite planted, right? So they're ready to rear, jump, run, whatever that means, okay? So when you disengage their hindquarters, that's sort of a vulnerable position for them. And you sort of, well, they say you force them a little bit into relaxation, or to then that hindquarter, the bend of the rib cage, they can't hold their breath for too long if their rib cage is bent. So that sort of forces them to blow out and get that. Yeah. So you want to practice that a lot on the ground, because eventually in the saddle, that could be your go-to strategy when she gets a little bit worried. Like I'd practice a lot doing like small circles with my horses. So you just start going, so basically what you're doing on the ground. Yeah. And that would bring you down. And if you make this, if you rehearse that in a quiet setting, and she's getting really, really good at it when she's not worried, then your chances that she can access this when she's worried are way higher. But if you only practice, you know, one rain stop when shit hits the fan already, then there's and you have never practiced that in a quiet setting, then it's really likely that then that she won't be able to access that.
Yeah, because when I've done it when I'm on her, you know, get her stop or whatever, and then it's just the same again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then that comes the mental thing. So when people do the one rein stop, they pull their horse around, and all they can feel is the horse pulling back on what they are pulling, and you have this pulling and pulling, and you think, oh, well, I've done it now, right? Like the thing is bent, and they let him go, and the horse is mentally still agitated and still wants to run because you still have that pull. So when you do all this bending and stuff, so same with this, it's like you hold it, and you want them to hold their head by themselves there and put slack in the rope by themselves.
Yeah.
If you just hold it there because you're pulling at it and you're pulling your head around, you don't have her mentally.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. But I think we tested that with her already, right? She was already, I know. She was good at this, wasn't she? So here, so if you hold this and see how she keeps her head like that now? No, she's fighting it a little bit. So now you've got her mind, yeah? She's like, what's going on? And like, she's changing her mind, and you've got an ear on it on yourself if you would be riding here. But if she would be pulling back, like, yes, you have her head, but that doesn't mean you got her mind. But I think we've figured out that she was pretty good in the whole steady pressure. She's given pretty good there. I'm just wondering if she would shut down. Worried you? Yeah, I'm just gathering some data. I'm just seeing if she... I'm working with another horse right now, and she understands steady pressure really good too, like this, but she fights it. Like the first instinct is a little bit like this, like I just pull against it. And then she would bite when you put your head around. So I was just seeing if she actually shuts down at steady pressure and sort of, and that felt a little bit to me like that. So when I asked her to put her head around, it felt a bit too compliant. Like it's nice that she does it, but I'm like wondering if it's like, all right, I know this game, I'll just hold my head here. But again,
So how do you know if it's not too tired?
I think it's more like it's her expression again. Like I'm just, yeah, and like also if she takes her head back without, like see how she keeps her head, but she's not like engaging. It's not like, oh, you're really interesting, can I muscle you and engage with you? It's more like, I'll just keep my head here. So I'm wondering, yeah, like that. I don't know how it looks to you, but it looks to me like a little bit like, oh, all right, I'll just do what I've been told. Because I'm not holding her right now. There's no need for her to have her head there unless... Anyway, maybe something to look after, but because she's shutting down, and most horses are shut down because they haven't been given an option, I would probably not do too much steady pressure right now with her. Like, so steady pressure is every time you ask her to be somewhere or to, I would stick with that, with this pressure.
Yeah.
So another thing I would do, see how she's just standing there. like her eyes are this, so there's no blinking right now. Your ears are completely locked. Her head is not low. There. So I didn't finish on engagement, but I finished on her sort of, you know, she had a moment where she engaged with her environment, let's say. Sometimes you don't have to release all the way either. You could just, like, you know, if she, let's say, has a blink or flicks an ear, like, you just stop and then you could continue. So that just lets her know, I'm watching you, like, I know. And then you can just keep going until you might get like a bigger engagement or a bigger release. So there's this thing Warwick Schiller does where he, I don't know if you heard of him. He's a Australian horse trainer. And he just comes and he stretches the horse, and every time something changes in the horse, could be a flick of an ear, could be a blink, he stops and then he just continues. So you just let the horse know. See how she you just let them know I'm listening. You're looking at the horsey. Yeah, so it's always good when you practice. Just want to make sure she actually gets out of that. She's better today. She's aware of, like, she's looking at the horses and she's looking at stuff. She doesn't really want to engage with this, which is fair enough. It's okay. But at least she's not. Yeah, her legs in. You pick up her legs. Stop again. Eventually, you would like her to either engage with it as in turning around, like, and sniffing it or something like that, or looking at it. Or you would like her to become, like, to start blinking and dropping her head a little.
Is it like quivering of the lip?
So sometimes when they quiver their lip and you wait long enough, they start licking and chewing. But sometimes it's just, I've noticed with shutdown horses, it's like they sort of quiver all the time a little bit. I almost, like, I don't know, I wonder if it's like just tension that, you know, like, just.
Because that's what I said at the start. Like, I've noticed she's done that, and I don't know if that's like a just thinking type of thing, or if that's her shutting down, or.
No, I think it's a tension thing, as in, because the other things just don't add up, you know what I mean? Look at the quick blinking now. So what I was going to say, like, this is a good exercise to always finish. So every time you use a tool to ask something of them, and then you use it in a more confidence way, it's always good to finish off in the confidence, because then they don't get too worried about your tool. So yeah, I would be more precise about your hindquarter yields this week. Yeah. See how long it took her to react. I think she's definitely. There, nice. And then do the confidence, where you either go like this, touch her with it. I don't think swinging around might be a bit much for her. Could give it a try. She dropped her head like an inch, like, not an inch, probably even like. So you could do also. So that's a confidence thing too. And the difference is my intention, right? I'm not asking her, I'm not feeling in my body like I want you to move. But I sort of would like to see her, I mean, ideally she'd be engaging with it or being confident to, or it doesn't bother her in a way. But I think we spoke about that last week when we sort of want to encourage that flight instinct a little bit in her. So that right now, see how she looked away and then you stop. So you sort of want to encourage her to make her feel better, make herself feel better rather than shutting down. I think this is too much for her, touching her. I think she just she's like, oh, well, I'll just wait for it to end. So I would probably do the confidence like this. And the difference is that you don't have an intention. If she ever chooses to actually walk off, see if we can actually get her to. And again, you don't want to, so you want so you don't want to follow her with the flag, because that would signal to her, I'm chasing you and you can't escape this. This is not what we want. We want her to find a solution. So the flag, you should never follow her with that if you do that as an exercise.
So her backing back is not what you want?
No, I let her back up, like I gave her the rope. But I guess, see how she started walking a little bit? I guess part of me was like, well, she already figured the backing up last week. So I'm just going to push her a little bit, as in, and when she walks away, follow her now. Like literally walk with her and not chasing her as in with the flag. Just letting her know, like I follow you, I'm with you. Like you walk away, you did a good choice, I'll let you walk away. I'm encouraging that for you. And you just got to be very mindful that so I'm just gonna, I had a bit of a feeling that she felt trapped by me there. like I'm pushing her into, so that's why I was like, all right, when she looked at me I walked away. But the more you can encourage that, her like finding that solution for herself now. Don't want her to feel like I'm chasing her. That's why I sort of gave her a lot of rope and try and be very calm. I don't want her to feel like I'm running after you now. Just gonna see the other side. And then if she turns around again, and we'll just go for a walk. Getting cold now. I feel like I wasn't that structured today with so I'm just gonna, oh, good girl. Good girl. So if she like fully backs up and like, you know, like if that's her answer, that's fine too. But I'd just like her to have a bit more of an answer. See how she's a bit, like you could see her hesitation. She's like, oh, I really want to walk, but I don't know if I'm really allowed to do this. So I'm just gonna make this a bit more uncomfortable. Like if she retreated now, walked backwards and then dropped her head and it's like, all right, I'm fine here. Like I'd probably stop, but she's like, you could see that she's clearly still uncomfortable. Now she was sort of looking. It's like, oh, maybe I can go over there. Good girl. Good girl. So if her answer is like that, how she trigger that out a little bit of her, and then you can ask her to come back to you if you want. And it seems counterproductive at once because we don't want our horses to be shy and run away from stuff. But in her case, we just need to let her know that she can let us know if something is uncomfortable. It's funny, how she moves from this side. That probably confirms what you said, like as in she's more confident on the left side, as in she would actually have a sniff. But she's not walking off to the right, is she? Like, it's interest, like, which could be just her. Maybe she doesn't feel the need to walk off. I'm just going to go down her body a little bit more. Good. So sometimes they do that. They actually, when you're like near their body, they back off and then sniff it. And that's quite brave. Like, yeah. Oh, there you go. See how she walked away? I'll just follow her a little bit. I just let her do that. I'm like, I try to make sure that I don't feel like I'm chasing her. And then I'll just bring her back. Good girl. Good girl. And you can test that. Good girl. You can test that in any on any body. So it's different to pushing her. Like, another thing is, like, you could do it over here, which she can't see.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, yes. So it's hoping that she backs off it. So it's always about finding a solution, and there's no right or wrong answer for her. It's what she has as a solution, and we want to try and let her and if the solution, yes. And the main thing is, so sorry, I think I said it already 10,000 times, but do not follow her with the flag. Because otherwise you're putting her again in a situation where she can't help herself and she can't really do anything about herself and make her feel better. Like, this is really about, I'm making this uncomfortable here. Can you find a solution to sort of see and you can help yourself? Yes, she found a solution. And the flag keeps going here. It could even keep going here. And then she's like, all right, but I moved over there. So I'm feeling better there now. And then she could get curious even, maybe she's like, I needed to move over there, but now I'm brave enough to have a look what this is actually all about. And you can test that anywhere, right? You could, if you're brave enough, test it. I mean, that's really scary. I agree. So now she's sort of going into shut. What am I doing? So there. She ran away, which is okay. It's okay. But she was brave enough to run away. The more you can encourage that. Okay. Oh, good girl. So and then you can she see how she's still like a bit agitated. So she needs a bit more distance from it. Can't really see, but I'm hoping for her to either look over or.
So now you want her to be curious about it.
Yeah, but I think I might be pushing it. I think that was the horse, not me. I'm just trying to show you a little bit of the progress. You know, you don't have to push her that much. It's just because I'm only here once a week. Yeah. So there's all different ways to do it down here. And make sure you've got the rope out so she can actually. Yeah, she walks away. Perfect. Walk with her. And you can catch her if you don't want to walk all the way there. And bring her back. But just let her have that moment. Nice. Good girl. Good. Yeah, she is different to last week. All right, I feel like we were a little bit all over the place today. So I just want to, and she has a nice licking shoe now, so I think we're going to stop her here. Oh, there we go. So yeah, so I would keep working on moving her with intention. And again, I'm not going to start showing again, but if you get sick of the hindquarter heels and you feel like you're doing this really well now, you can start moving the forend. So you basically just push into her forend, and the same principle, you want her hind to be still and want the forend to move. But I can show you more later. Or you could ask her to back up of the flag. Yeah, hello. And then do the exercise where you just give her, like, you know, you put her in an uncomfortable position, like be playful with it, you know. See what would you do if, you know, I'll have the flag over your bum. What would you do if it's right behind you? What if you do if it flicks around your back legs? Yeah. So just put her in like different little tests, and then see if she can help herself. So the question here is like, can you help yourself, make yourself feel better? Yeah. And I allow you to do that, which signals to her like, all right, I've got choice, I've got agency, I can somehow make myself feel better.
And is like 10 minutes okay? See how she goes at the end of it, sort of thing, like how much?
Yeah, but the time, so I look, however much time you really have, yeah. But don't be, it's more about the quality, yeah?
Yeah,
so
I was worried about overdoing it and then her being
yeah. Yeah, so if you don't flood her, as in like, you know, you do lots of things like with her in a short session, and she gets like, you know, I think she's sort of just relaxing. Yeah. I don't know, I'm still trying to figure out. But anyway, I would set a couple of tasks maybe. Yeah. you know, you don't have to go through the whole lot of like, I'll do the bum and I'll do here. Maybe just say, I'm just going to ask her what you do if I whip the flag near your hindquarters or near your belly, okay? And then you just wait for a reaction and then you just finish. You don't have to keep repeating it and repeating it like I did. Like I think she got it after like 3 times, you know? There was more to show you. And then with the hindquarter yields, again, you start the exercise and then you got a bar, right? Yeah. So if you start the exercise and she barely moves, then that's your bar. And then if you progress to her doing one nice step, then you raise the bar. You can stop there, right? If you have lots of time, you can keep raising the bar. But again, I wouldn't like, you know, ask too much of her and get her too overwhelmed. Yeah. She's confident like that, isn't she?
Yes. She knows where she wants to be scratched.
Yeah.
Okay, so more set tasks than time.
Yeah, more set task and time, and see if you can get an improvement, even if it's the tiniest improvement within the session. But yeah, like come in, do your task, see where she's at, where you are at, right? Yeah. That's your bar. See if you can raise the bar in that session. Might take you 5 minutes, might take you 10 minutes, whatever it is. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about, oh, I've got to do 45 minutes every day because that's what she needs. It's more about getting her to her mind and keep working on that. And then I think we're getting to her mind. Like I think she is already more engaged and more comfortable. I think next week we can probably work on, you know, getting those yields a little bit better. Yeah. Seeing if she can stay engaged, getting those yields a bit better. And then I would like to practice with you next week that little small circle exercise on the ground. So I'll teach you what you ask of her and how it's done. And then you can practice that. And then if she's doing that quite well on the ground, I think we're probably ready to see if we can put a saddle on her and see how she feels on the saddle and what she does. I'd like to put a saddle on her and see what she does in terms of, like, you know, is she becoming reactive, or is she shutting down, or is she relying heavily on being managed by reins and legs, or yeah, I'd like to see what's happening. But she was really calm today, and there's definitely moments where she still like froze and was like, but it was more of a freeze, as in I'm bracing myself, rather than I'm completely going inside and ignoring everything that's inside me. Yeah. So it's more of a, like she doesn't know what's coming. Yeah, like she doesn't have the answer yet. More like it's like I freeze because I don't really know. Like, I mean, we don't want to push her ever into fight, but she doesn't know that there's flight or that I can be comfortable with this. So you know how there's all these different sympathetic nervous system responses, like there's flight, fight, freeze, fawn. Yeah. So she's going through a few of them, luckily not fight. But so they are those hyper arousal states, so sympathetic. So if you read the book, and then the shutdown is when basically the nervous system collapses and you go into like shutdown. So if we can keep her at least in the sympathetic nervous system, like have her in the sympathetic nervous system and not shutting down and not collapsing, that's already a win for her, I think. And I think she's doing really well. Like she's quite she's definitely different today.
Well, I thought this is only the second.
That's only the second session, yeah. So I think you're doing well. Just I think you just need to become clear and more confident in your ask, and like, you know, because I think she picks up stuff quite quickly. Yeah. And I don't think she can get super worried, as in like if you overwhelm her, like, you know, and she can't go into shutdown, well, what might happen is that she gets really spooky and really flighty. That's sort of what happened last week, right? When she started all of a sudden looking at the kangaroos and every sound, and then she started to get really worried about this. But I feel like she didn't even go there today. So I think the more you keep working on it, the more you can sort of push her a little bit out of her comfort zone and widen this window for her to be okay with what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, look, she's fine now. Her ears are flicking. She's looking around. She just had another yawn. Putting your bum into you. She's talking to you. Yeah.
I'll take off the halter and see.
Yeah, that was another thing, wasn't it, with the halter? That she sort of... Yeah, immediate shake and lick and chew. But she she enjoys being around you and being with you. Like, she's not like, the halter's off, I'm gone. You know, some horses are like that. It's like, it's just way too much.
I don't want to do that all the time, really.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
Yeah, you don't want it to become pushy either. As in, hello, who are you? Who are you? All right, I think we can finish this now. Oh.